Yes. What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 31 of the J&J Dating Dynamics podcast. I'm number one J. That's number two J over there. And this is your weekly dose of everything your father should have taught you, but didn't. And this is Tucker Carlson's favorite new podcast. But first off, Justin, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad, bro. Shit, you know what? We should give Tucker Carlson a spot right here.
Yeah, hey, Tucker, anytime you want to come on, bro, let's talk about this shit. This is nonsense. Nonsense. Him, Jonathan Majors, the CNN guy. This is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Today we're going to talk about some wokeness. All these brands going woke, all these people getting canceled because they don't want to accept. They don't want to accept. I don't get it. I really don't get it, Justin. It baffles the mind. These are the same people that told us like 10 years ago when we were talking about climate change that we were science deniers. Now, are they not denying biology? What the hell's going on here?
I was just saying something, I think just yesterday, there's over 100 genders now.
What? Somebody needs to explain. Look, sex education in schools is going to have to take on like a whole 4-year curriculum. This is insane. Completely insane.
We should start out first, Joel. I'll let you plug the show like you normally do.
I did. This is episode 31 of the J&J Dating Dynamics podcast. I'm number one J. That's number two J. That way.
Hit that like button, subscribe, do it up.
There you go.
But I do want to tell our listeners, normally we do cover dating topics.
Yes.
But Joel wanted to go with the wokeness, and it's something that's actually happening within the manosphere and in the red pill community, because it seems like the matrix is infiltrating even heavier. And I believe these corporations with their wokeness has a very heavy agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe people can see it, because if you can see it, you're a conspiracy theorist.
Right.
But I really think that there's a bigger play at hand, and I've been saying it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're trying to destroy the family unit. I think our government benefits from having two single people working, not a family unit. They have more control over us as individuals than as a unit, especially the children.
Do they? Because when you're in a family nucleus, one of the main ways to control that family is through the children. So do they really benefit from having single people and no children, potentially?
I mean, if you're separated and you're working and your partner's working and now your kid's being indoctrinated through the system, do you see what's going on in the school systems?
Yeah, of course I see it. I have a 13-year-old girl. Of course I see it. It's insane.
Well,
it's insanity.
I have little sisters. For those who think I'm misogynistic, I'm pro women. Like, I love women. I want to see you guys do great, but there's a lot of weird stuff that's happening out there, and
that's to say the least.
It's like, I feel like, are men gonna have to step up and speak up on behalf of women now?
Somebody well, that's what we've been doing. Feminism wouldn't have had a leg to stand on if men didn't speak up for it. But at some point, somebody's going to have to stand in and say, enough of this nonsense. I don't know what form that's going to take, how that's going to happen, but it's got to happen at some point, because this is utter ridiculousness. Quick shout out to Jay Blaze in the chat. I think he's our number one fan. I love this guy. And he's always all up in the chat giving us little nuggets. He can't stand the woke. Diversity, inclusion, equity. Yeah, die. Okay, it's a good one. He agrees with you. This is all about it's all about getting people not to have children. They want children to be sterilized, and I can definitely see that. Letting a child pick their gender is the absolutely most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, you know what? We need to find a medical doctor. We need to bring them on and ask him, what the hell are you putting on a birth certificate?
Dude, an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old cannot legally enter a club or have a beer.
Exactly. I mean,
but a child can
pick their gender,
hormones, and pick their gender, and I don't know. I think these parents out there are are being brainwashed as well. And
I think a lot of them are. Yeah, of course, absolutely. And what sucks, well, I mean, it's our generation's parents. This isn't even the older generation's parents anymore. This is us. This is the millennials. This is what the millennial generation has come down to.
I know it's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah, Ronnie in the chat, you can't get a tattoo unless you're 18.
That's
I mean,
insane.
yeah, what the hell is happening? You can't vote. You can't vote, but you can.
I just saw a
I'm sorry.
post. I saw a post that was hilarious. It's like they took a black woman, a real woman, Aunt Jemima. They took her off the syrup bottle, but then they put a fake white woman on the Bud Light can.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
does that make any sense to you?
No, not even close. And speaking of Bud Light, the backlash on Bud Light has been epic. I have loved it. I loved watching Kid Rock shoot up a bunch of Bud Light. I went to the grocery store not long ago, well, right after it happened, and the only beer that was fully stocked was Bud Light. That was fucking fantastic. And, you know, if you're really about boycotting Bud Light, boycott the entire corporation of Anheuser-Busch. And they own a ton of different beers that are on the shelves, by the way. A ton. Not just Budweiser and Bud Light. They own, I don't know, I think they bottle a bunch of microbreweries now, too. So look on the little label. Yeah, they do. Ronnie points out Land O'Lakes removed the Indian and kept the land. I mean, I get that, but and there's one thing. One thing is to don't be offensive, don't offend anybody. That's it's annoying, but it is what it is at this point.
Bro, that is why we're in the shape that we're in, because everyone's offended, and we have been programmed to like keep our mouths closed. And it's like, dude, that's why people are really trying to bring masculinity back. And I feel like ever since the term was coined, toxic masculinity, like just so much crap has happened. And I'm not taking away from anything to deal with real issues that women have had within their movements.
And that's the thing. This is a huge distraction from those real issues.
Yeah, because things were taken out of context and it's being dragged out for the wrong reasons. Like the Me Too movement, that was there was pivotal points and very important things that had to happen. Like those major cases, absolutely, they needed to happen. But now it was dragged out so hard that you can't approach a woman. You can't. It's the workplace.
Gillette was the first. Gillette was that first corporation to come out with that stupid Super Bowl ad about 3 years ago. They're in the thumbnail right there. Disney Plus, Marvel, man. It's absolutely insane. I bet you by the end of this year, maybe next year, we'll have our first trans superhero in the movies.
Do you feel like, because what's nuts is that we can gauge.
Sit forward a bit. Your lighting's kind of off you.
So we can gauge kind of what's going on with like the young teenagers coming up, like the 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds, but what about those really young kids? We don't know what I'm not a parent, so I don't know what they're seeing and what they're interacting with. But what about the younger generation that are being feminized? What about the younger generation of men that are being feminized from young boys? And what about young women, young little girls that are being taught that, oh, they're not shit? Like, what's happening there?
That's been a problem since the year 2000. I mean, that problem's been going on. I'll blame that one on Gen X.
I'm genuinely curious because I can't speak on that. Like, what's gonna happen 10 years from now when that generation is now 18 through 21?
I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, my hope is that instinct kind of takes over and men end up becoming men and women end up becoming women. But the way this is going, we're going to be a monogendered society. Like, we're not going to have 100 genders. We're going to have one gender. Everybody's going to be non-gender. Gender is just going to be the politically incorrect thing. Any gender. You can't be trans. No, that's politically incorrect. You can't be male. You can't be female, cis, whatever the hell they call it. Can't do that now. That's going to be politically incorrect.
Yeah.
All right, Justin. I think we're losing you a bit. I think your connection's pretty bad right now, Justin.
Hold on one second.
So while he does that, I do want to bring this up a little. And shout out to the account on Instagram, Red Pill Rants. They post fantastic content. If you don't follow them, go follow them. They're really absolutely fantastic. I want to bring up something they just posted about an hour ago from Dylan Mulvaney himself or herself. I don't even know anymore. Let me bring that up. All right, here we go. Dylan Mulvaney says using the wrong pronouns should be illegal. By the way, hang on, Justin, do I have you back?
Yeah.
All right, before I play this, and I'm being 100% honest here, I had never in my life heard of Dylan Mulvaney until the Budlight thing. Who the hell is Dylan Mulvaney?
Same. I don't know. I guess he's
some
just
trans
like a
person?
Transgender activist. I don't know if he's an activist. All I know, he popped up on a Bud Light can to celebrate his year of being a woman.
Which he's obviously not. I would never date that. But all right, let's see. Let's see what
listen,
thing.
You know what sucks is that,
What's that?
They make it. It's almost like they're making it out to seem like we have some kind of like phobia or like there's such a strong push, and it's like we were fine with things the way they were. You can be transgender.
Everybody was.
You can be transgender. That's 100% fine. The problem is you're trying to identify as a woman. You're not a woman.
No, you're not.
And it goes the same way if you're trying to be a man. You're not a man. You
Absolutely
can be
right.
gay, you can be transgender. We have no problem with that. I
It
don't
used
think
to
anyone
be,
in America anymore has a problem with it. I mean, maybe in some parts of America, but
Okay, Jay Blaze is sending me straight here. Dylan had a meeting with Biden, sponsored by Tampon. How does a tampon? You know what? How does a tampon company sponsor a transgender person?
I don't understand how this isn't offensive to women.
That's the thing. It should be. Women are the ones that need to have a backlash against this. Sponsored by Nike and now Bud Light as well. I'm sure Harley Davidson will follow suit soon. Hope not. But let's play this audio. I want to hear what the hell this person has to say. I haven't heard this, by the way. I don't think Justin has either. But here we go.
Using he pronouns and calling me a man over and over again.
You are.
And I feel like that should be illegal. I don't know. That's just bad journalism. Like the articles written about me using he pronouns and
so telling the truth is bad journalism now? You know, there used to be a day when if you wanted to be trans, if you were a man and you wanted to become a woman, you actually had to go have the surgeries. And if you wanted to do that, go, be happy, do what you got to do, what you want to do. But now there's no pregnant women anymore. It's pregnant people, because apparently men can get pregnant now. I don't get it, man. And it's the fact that the loudest voices for tolerance are the most intolerant people of other people's voices. That's what gets to me.
Really, the only thing that really bugs me out is that my whole life, growing up as a kid and being in school, we've always been taught to trust in science.
Yes, but no. Well, now science. Now we got to trust some science, not some other science. I mean,
but it's like no one even trusts science anymore.
I trust science. I'm all about science.
Oh no,
but this isn't science. I am all about science.
Dude, it's because I trust science why there was a certain reason I didn't do something. If you catch my drift.
I know.
You know, when we had that long time period where everybody stayed home.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
If you want
Yeah.
to get a shot or an injection or something like that.
Yeah. We're not trying to get canceled over here.
Yeah, well, I had to, but that's another story for another day. You can thank the VA for that one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had to, or else I would lose my disability.
Sorry for you, bro.
Yeah, well, veterans were kind of like the pin cushions for every medical test they want to do. You want your disability? Here, you want it? You want it? That's kind of how it goes. But yeah, man. All right, so we've seen Budlight. I want to see if I can find the Harley, because Harley Davidson, and dude, correct me if I'm wrong. This one hits close to the rest because obviously I'm into motorcycling. You are too. I wear Harley Davidson stuff on all the time. Harley should be the most American of American of manly companies on the planet.
Dude, if Harley Davidson goes woke,
well,
listen, I do not want to set my bike on fire.
Oh, dude, I will. I'll go. Well, no, because Indian is kind of woke too, but not as bad as Harley. If Indian's smart, they won't go that way.
I'm pretty sure a lot of companies are seeing what's happening to the woke companies, and
yeah,
if you're smart from a marketing standpoint, you'll see what's going on.
Absolutely. Like it's marketing. Like
I mean,
you can't
think
be
about
that stupid,
it.
can you?
If you really think about this, who has taken all these stories and ran with it? The media.
Of course, it's all pushed by the media.
If you really compare the percentage of the actual community that's pushing to be out there, it's not going to take much for us to like just squash it as men and women.
No, not at all. Because most people aren't buying into the nonsense, I don't think.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I feel like the more we speak about this, I feel like the closer we're going to be to getting canceled. This is why I'd rather stick to our dating dynamics.
Well, yeah, we're not going to talk about this for the entire show. We're going to do quite a bit of dating fails here in a minute. But hang on, because I'm trying to find that Harley Davidson new website thing.
Yeah, I saw you. You showed me some weird thing.
Yeah.
I saw some dude wearing some weird leather, and I was just like, bro, if Harley goes woke, that'll be the death of Harley Davidson. I guarantee.
Absolutely. Yeah, that won't be like Budlight, like it'll calm down and people will start buying Budlight again.
That will be the nail in the coffin for Harley Davidson as we know it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm really happy because you're right. It did take something like the pushback from everybody with the whole Budlight controversy, and people that are against us will say we're making a big deal out of it, and it's like no. We see something very small because it's really not a big deal in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
But us pushing back to something small like that is going to show these companies that we're not here to play games.
Yeah.
And honestly, I like that the American people are doing it.
Yeah, and whatchamacallit, it's got to be it's a consumer response. The wallet always is what determines what corporations are going to do. The media will push them one way, but the almighty dollar at the end of the day. Yeah, here, let me show. I got it here. Let me show you these. This lovely new clothing line, and it's not even about the clothes. It's about the photos that they're using to illustrate this. It points in a very weird and woke direction, quote unquote. Let me bring it up. This is a new clothing line Harley unveiled, the Bar and Shield collection. Apparently, they're getting into high fashion now. But check out some of these photos. I'm not really sure what that is, man or a woman. That's obviously a woman, but I hope the one that you can't really tell what it is on here. Let's see. Come on. Harley Davidson, second line, Harley Davidson. Oh, here it is. Bar and Shield by Harley Davidson. Here it is. This is the actual Harley Davidson website.
Yeah, like
this
what
is the actual
is that
Harley Davidson
dude
website
wearing? Like they should not have put that The dude, go
No,
up, scroll up,
but which one?
scroll up, right
This?
there. The
Yeah.
dude is wearing a leotard.
Well, is that a dude? I think that's a woman. Yeah,
You sure?
woman's. It says woman's crop classic,
Oh, okay, all right.
but still, I
I
mean,
take
it's
that
hard to
back.
tell.
I take that back.
But all the women that are shown here are masculinized women. But you'll see
Well, I mean,
there's one near the
not
bottom that you really can't tell what it is.
not for nothing.
Like, okay, tell me what this is.
It's a woman.
Is it?
I think it's a woman.
I have no earthly idea.
I think it's a woman. But listen, not for nothing. Me and you both worked at Harley.
Yep,
We know the types of women that come in to buy motorcycles.
correct. And it's none of these women would ever come in to buy a motorcycle if they're women.
So I kind of don't blame Harley Davidson for kind of trying to appeal to more the androgynous look, because they also do cater to like our backpacks, our passengers. They have, so I could definitely see that working in that favor.
Yeah,
Would you agree with me there?
I do think that Harley needs to expand their customer base, but they got to do it to the right people. 90% of motorcycle riders in the United States are male. That is the most basic marketing statistic
but-
Harley Davidson has to have plastered everywhere.
You
On their-
cannot. The only way you're gonna get more guys riding more motorcycles is guys like Jason Momoa. You had Sons of Anarchy, which definitely was a
Yep.
push to get men
Absolutely.
on motorcycles.
Absolutely.
But you can't be distracted from the fact that it takes a certain type of individual to jump on a motorcycle. There's guys in corporate that wear like white collar guys. That's not their lifestyle. They don't get dirty.
Not
They don't,
necessarily, no.
and they shouldn't even be on a bike for the most part. Like those are the guys that are gonna get on a bike and probably either injure themselves or total the bike or possibly die. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to. I think they're cool with the way things are. It's just there's not enough masculinity out there, to be honest.
Not even close. And
and
Harley is
Harley-
and needs to remain a masculine brand.
But if you really think about it, Harley Davidson is very strongly also incorporated and integrated with the rock and roll community. So anyone that doesn't grow up with an open mind to listen to any rock and roll, even if it's old school, even if they don't like it, even if it's classic. I've seen it with people that are just fully into hip hop. Like those are the guys, nah,
Yeah.
you need a ninja. They're closed minded. They see a Harley and it's rock and roll.
Well, is it really? Because I mean, you see a lot of the hip hop community. They ride Harleys too. Those are the guys you see on the big road glides and the.
It's slowly changing. So
You're-
I could compare this to the way I used to dress and be a weirdo in high school, because
You're
I used
still
to
a
be
weirdo,
like
but
this.
it's okay.
I used to be like this punk rock skater boy kid, and I used to wear all black with like chains and weird pants. And I was the weirdo. I used to go to Hot Topic, and everybody was dressing like hip hop, like thugged out with the Timberland boots and baggy pants and long t-shirts. Now it's cool to be a weirdo. So now in the hip hop scene, you got these hip hop kids that are into the goth. So I'm actually
Right.
hoping that transitions into a new Harley clientele. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would, but I'm not sure this clothing line that we just saw and this type of ad is what's going to get it there.
Well, like I thought for some reason that they were trying to feminize the male clothing line. If they're
Mhm.
not feminizing the male clothing line, they will be fine.
Well, it is. It's a whole new clothing line, though, for men and women. And it looks
Well-
feminized to me.
Like I said, if you can't pull up anything that I would see that's feminized, that I think they'll be all right.
I hope so. And like I said, I haven't said that Harley's gone woke. I'm saying this clothing line, I don't think moves it in the right direction. That's what I'm saying here. But from a marketing perspective, Harley Davidson's core demographic is 90% male, masculine male. Okay? And that's what their marketing people need to have at the very front of their brains. I'm a marketing guy myself, so that needs to be priority.
So And marketing, don't you think it would kind of make sense?
To
Like they're marketing beautiful women, but like they're more androgynous. So for the women that play for the same team, they might be intrigued and be like, and more for more of a masculine, like, lesbian or whatever you want to be, they might be trying to capture that market and say like, you guys can get girls if you guys get a motorcycle. Do you think that makes any
Mm,
sense as a marketing guy?
I don't. Maybe I don't see it though. I don't think. I mean, a lot of guys do think that way, and I've talked about it in my other channel. A lot of guys do think if they get a motorcycle, they're gonna have women jumping all over them. I think
They
most
really
men.
do.
I think most men do though realize, however, that is not the case.
No,
Especially a man who can
you'll
afford
get more guys. You'll get
especially a
more
man who can.
guys.
Yeah, you'll get a bunch of guys asking you about your bike, but especially men who can afford Harley Davidsons, because not a lot of kids walk in and get a Harley.
No.
Harley's a premium product that not everybody can afford. So anyway, we are 26 minutes in. You are watching the J&J Dating Dynamic podcast, giving you the weekly dose of everything your father should have taught you but didn't. This is Jason Tucker's favorite new podcast. I'm number 1J. That guy over here is number 2J. We established that last episode. I just needed to make it clear, so I put it up on my little banner here. And we are talking about wokeness and brands and all that stuff.
I'm the first J.
No, right there, right here, it says number 1J. Right here. Right there. Number 1J. Right there.
Yeah,
right there.
I didn't even see you did that. Hold on.
Number 1J.
No.
Right there. Right there.
I gotta change this. How do I do this?
I don't know. You can't do it while you're live, I don't think so.
Wow, you're lucky.
Yeah, you're screwed. Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch.
Shout out to Jay Blaze and Ronnie in the chat. I see Gabriela Silva here on the chat as well. Says, tell your gender and the way you feel today won't mean anything. Yeah, it won't mean anything. We were just talking about the fact that soon there's not going to be 100 genders. It's just going to be one. It's just going to be whatever. Androgynous. It's a great word Justin used. That's the only gender. Androgynous. Are you able-bodied or not even? Yeah, androgynous. That's the only gender. That's good. That's you remember that South Park episode when people from the future come back and they're all the same color, they all wear the same clothes, and nobody knows who's a man, who's a woman, or anything like that? South Park
No, I didn't catch it.
It's an old episode.
Dude, South Park calls everything, and I love South Park because they always cover.
They don't pull I gotta watch the latest episodes. I bet they have a good take on this.
Oh my god, they're probably hilarious. You're right.
And I hope
we should probably watch some episodes. We're probably going to be able to pull it up on the show.
Yeah, we can probably react to them. I have it on my HBO Plus, on my HBO Max account.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna look that up. Maybe we'll do that next week. That should be fun.
Actually, I know we have a couple of things to keep going on the topic we're talking about, but I do want to bring up something because I got into it with my homegirls.
Oh boy, which homegirls? Tell us.
We'll go back to that.
Well, come on, now you can't leave us hanging like that.
No, we'll go back to that. I want to check out some of the stuff we were talking about with Jordan Peterson and
yeah, I don't have links for that, so let me bring some of that up. Let's see.
So for people that don't know who Matt Walsh is, Matt Walsh made he's a YouTuber and he made a documentary, a whole film about what it means to be a woman.
What is a woman? Yeah.
That's the title, right? What is a woman?
Yeah.
So that's the title, but he goes around asking people, what is a woman? And people can't explain it. And I just think that's absolutely bonkers. When you watch it, it's mind-blowing. Because biologically, when you're born, it's one or the other.
Well, yeah, now it's not what gender you are, it's what gender you're assigned at birth, right? I mean, come on. Come on,
they're
Justin.
finding ways. They're finding ways to fight this stuff.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. Look,
It's crazy that we have to
I
invent
can't
new
help but
rules.
laugh at it. It is so ridiculous. I can't help but laugh at it.
Dude, I'm just, if we're laughing at it and we live here in the States, what is the rest of the world thinking?
I don't know. The UK is going the same way, but people in Russia got to be looking at us like, what the hell are these morons doing? Like, these are the people we're losing economically to? Like, what are the Chinese thinking? Oh my God.
Who knows? I feel like we know what they're thinking.
Yeah, Jay Blaze says it right here. A new Biden-appointed black judge didn't know what a woman was. I think I saw that. They asked her, what is a woman? And she couldn't answer. Like, I can't answer that.
It's sad.
A grown adult female. That's what a woman is. An adult female. That's it. A human adult female. That's a woman. It's easy.
Were you able to pull up anything on a...
Yeah, I got one here from Jordan Peterson from Rebel News Canada. I don't even know what that is, but let's, what the hell? Let's take a look here.
All right.
Let me bring it up. All right, let's see here.
Typical Canadian, this legislation will really affect them. The government wants to have control over the search engine strategies. I mean, that's everything, the search engine strategies. That's the gateway into the world of information itself. And so it's not good.
What was the one thing maybe that Dr. Peterson said that you found the most interesting, the most profound?
Well, let me actually find Jordan Peterson speaking, because, I don't really care what.
People covering him. Yeah.
Lord,
but I love Jordan Peterson on the topics. Really, he's just amazing at anything he speaks about. He's so articulate, and he doesn't really have. I don't know. I haven't come across much he doesn't know about, but he's very, very well spoken.
Yeah, he's obviously a very, very capable professional. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. I think he's talking here.
Freedom of expression is in this country now, especially in the academic world.
I think the universities, for all intents and purposes, are done. I can't see any hope for them. Like, I've watched large organizations collapse for a variety of reasons. Over the last 20 years, I've been in a position to be communicating with people who've either shepherded them through a collapse or participated in the collapse, let's say. And
by the way, we mentioned that a lot of this happens in the media. It also in academia, in the universities, there and in the media is where this is mainly prevalent.
I don't know if you know, but did you know that they were trying to cancel Jordan Peterson?
I'm sure they were. Him, Ben Shapiro, and every man who talks about this stuff. I'm sure they're trying to cancel him.
Not just him. He's a professor, so
yeah.
The board was actually trying to get him canceled for his views. And it's insane, because I don't know if you know his daughter, Michaela Peterson, but she spoke up about it. I don't know where they stand currently, but it's insane. My female friends are going to start thinking you're part of the He-Man Women Haters Club. What was the code again? What was the password, Robbie?
You don't say it on live. All right, let's keep going with this.
large enterprises can fall apart very quickly once they start to fall apart, because a small number of people in any organization do all the work, and when the ship starts to sink, especially if it's scuttled by the people who are operating it, the competent people leave first. And there aren't that many of them, and as soon as they leave, you're done. And the universities haven't just made one fatal mistake, they've made like 7 fatal mistakes. And so I just can't see, they're still running on the glories of their past endeavors. They're like parasites in a whale carcass. That's a good way of thinking about it. And it's a good biological metaphor. And there's lots of whale left, but it'll run out soon. And I just can't see how they can possibly last.
What is your advice to this country and to this group about preservation of freedom of expression in the internet?
But I mean, for the typical Canadian, this legislation will really affect them. It'll be a priority.
All right, let's try to find the wokeness part.
Be able to test their linguistic constructions against the world, and so they'll practice just like scientists. And the most advanced models are going to use text and image and action as well, because they'll be able to model human action. And so, and all of that's going to come down the pipes within the next year. So hang on to your hat.
Our rights, though.
Yeah.
That is not a bad development.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Elon Musk, one of the things he's working on, he thinks that the world will be controlled by whoever produces the most functional AI system the fastest, because there'll be a first mover advantage. And one of the things Musk has been working on for a long time are distributed AI
All right,
systems.
you know what? Let's
You'll
stop
have
this.
your own.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do is I'm sending you right now.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like it's Joe Rogan.
What is it?
On the effect
good.
of woke culture. I just sent it to your phone.
All right, I'll bring it up. Here, by the way, this is an ad about the What is a Woman?
Well, you're at the Women's March. You must have some idea. Please, if one person could tell me what a woman is.
You are not here for women. We ask you to leave.
What is that? I'm a husband. I'm a father for. I host a talk show.
Hold on,
I
real
give
quick.
Speeches,
Do you see this?
I write books.
Hang on.
I like to make sense of things.
Sorry, I'm doing like 5 things at once.
It's fine. Dude, you saw that, right? He's a husband. He's got a family. Like,
Yeah.
all he's doing is speaking up for traditionalism and what it is to be a biological man and a biological woman. It's
Yeah.
insane. Keep playing this thing.
A woman is not anything in particular.
There is not one particular thing.
It could be many things to many people.
Some women have penises, right? Some men have vaginas.
I like scented candles. I've watched Sex and the City.
Yeah,
How do I know if I'm a woman?
that's a great question.
You're not a scientist.
I love
you're not a
candles.
Gender studies.
Am I a woman?
Yeah, I think so. That's
I
a great
love
question.
candles.
That's a great question, Justin.
You're stupid, Bell.
Major.
No,
How do you know that you're a man?
I guess because I got a dick.
There you go.
Can a man become a woman?
I'm not a woman, so I can't really answer that.
Women only know what women are.
Are you a cat?
No.
Can you tell me what a cat is? You want to tell us what a woman is?
I'm a biological woman that medically transitioned to appear like a male. I will never be a man.
And so they go on the internet and they're told that all of their problems will be solved if they become a man.
So you worry that there could be a sort of social contagion element of this?
A teeny tiny bit, maybe.
It got me at 42. Your child doesn't have a chance.
And you're affirming it with hormones that have never been used in this way.
Puberty blockers, which are completely reversible.
Completely reversible.
One of the drugs used is Lupron, right? Which has actually been used to chemically castrate sex offenders.
Should continue this interview.
You don't want to talk about drugs that you give to kids or.
How can they be removing the healthy breasts of 15-year-old girls?
There are masculine girls. There are feminine boys. What are we going to do about that? Carve them up?
How can this whole thing be happening, Matt?
I wanted us to have a safe place to be able to talk about this.
Part of me wants to ask why you care so much.
I care about the truth. I care about children. I care about the women who are having their opportunities stolen from them.
I feel like we're very much in that same standpoint. Like, and a lot of people are getting at me and they're like, why do you care? And it's like, I care because I am seeing that our nation is not what we grew up in. And if we continue to let it happen and we don't speak up, if people like me and Joel don't speak up, and I don't know, man, it's
And the Mount Walsh's of the world and the Tom Petersons of the world and, you know, all this. I do have the video you just sent me. Let's take a look at that. This is Joe Rogan. I think talking to Jordan Peterson, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
What is causing this rush to that? Like, how did this happen, and how did this happen so quickly?
Well, this is partly tied up with this issue of the college. So
Is it my color blindness, or is he wearing a two-colored suit?
I have no idea. I think it might be two-colored. It don't matter. Let's play it.
Here's one way into it. So now professionals are bound by law to offer gender-affirming advice. They're bound by law. Okay, so this is what this means. If you bring your 13-year-old in to be evaluated by a physician or a psychologist, and maybe she has high levels of neuroticism, tilting towards depression and anxiety, and then that's making itself manifest in bodily discomfort. Now that's being shaped by this cultural fad that insists that if you feel uncomfortable in your body, it's because you're of the opposite gender. That's the psychological epidemic part of it. And we can talk about that in a little bit more detail. But now you're duty bound by law, if you're a professional, to say, oh, you think you're a boy? Yeah, absolutely. You absolutely, 100%, you are. What can we do to facilitate that move forward? And that all got, what would you call,
twisted up,
pushed into the law under the guise of the elimination of conversion therapy. So unbelievable. Now, the problem with that is, you see, if you're a therapist or a physician, you don't affirm someone's identity. That's not your job. And your job is not to deny their identity either. Your job is to help them explore their identity. And
that's absolutely ridiculous. These are psychologists, psychiatrists he's talking about?
Say it again?
These are psychologists and psychiatrists that have to be that way? They have to be affirming?
Dude, it's insane what they're doing. And no one knows that they're doing this stuff. And
Jay Blaze brings up a great point here. Think of all the medical lawsuits that'll happen in 10 to 20 years from all the kids who were pushed toward this stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that are coming out years and years after, like that woman that was just up, and she was like, I'll never be a man.
Yeah, they got me at 42. Your kid doesn't stand a chance.
I remember seeing an extended version of that, and she explained how much physical pain and suffering she went through internally, because internally she's a woman and you're supposed to be going through changes inside your body.
Right.
And she got really messed up.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's keep going here.
Hopefully to develop it. And so someone comes to you, maybe they have body dysmorphia. And so maybe they're anorexic. That's a form of body dysmorphia. And so the first thing you do, if you have any sense, is you note that that's stemming out of an underlying, more global proclivity to suffer from depression and anxiety. So that's the big elephant in the room, depression and anxiety. So if the trans activist types say, well, the body dysmorphic types are more likely to have suicidal thoughts, it's not because they have body dysmorphia, it's because they're prone to depression and anxiety, and depressed and anxious people are more likely to have suicidal thoughts. And maybe body dysmorphia adds a bit to that, but nobody really knows. Probably.
You know, I think actually that's a great point. I think with the suicide epidemic, or unaliving yourself epidemic, we're supposed to use YouTube safe terms.
Absolutely.
That's going to lead to a huge increase on that.
I agree.
Yeah. 100%.
Probably add some, but the fundamental issue is one of depression and anxiety. So now you're suffering from, unspecified self-consciousness, and the culture twists around to offer you a narrative. And the narrative is, oh, well, you're in the wrong body. And then the carrot is, and this is part of it gets extraordinarily pathological, is a lot of these kids who are suffering from this alienation are unpopular. And now they're being enticed. It's like, yeah, well, you're not unpopular. You're interestingly special. So if you just take this carrot, you're the opposite sex, all of a sudden you're not a victim. You're a brave, you're a brave seeker after your redemptive identity. And now you can be elevated and you can be treated specially. And my God, if you're an unpopular teenager, how could anything be possibly more attractive than that?
Let me ask you this. This is very prevailing in we just established in academia and college campuses. I haven't gone to a college town in a long time, and I'm not talking about Miami with, you know, UM is here and FIU's here. Like, okay, they have their campuses and
You want to blow us up?
the kids just party. Yeah, the kids just party in Miami. I'm talking about, let's say, Gainesville, Florida, where the University of Florida is. I'm talking about Ann Arbor, where the University of Michigan is, or where Ohio State is. These are little towns that are essentially towns for that college. And I don't know if you've ever been to a town like this. This, you know, the bars exist for the college kids, and you know, it's the quintessential college.
I have
kids.
one right near me, Hoboken.
Okay, when the kids go out and they're partying at the college bars and all that, when guys come hit on girls, which is, I'm assuming, constant because it's college, are they getting rejected? Like, does it look the same as when I went to college, or like, okay, what happens to fraternities and sororities? Now, are you going to have trans fraternities and male sororities? Like, this whole thing, to me, it's, maybe I'm naive here, but it's confusing as hell.
It really is, but that's what Jordan Peterson was trying to say. It's like it's confusing, not only just to us, but it's confusing to children, and they're growing up, and their mind is still like taking shape. So you're confusing them, you're brainwashing them at a young age, and just like you said, you're causing them to feel like they don't fit in. They have gender dysmorphia. You just said, and I believe it as well, it can cause those, you know, eject button rates to go up.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I have a 13-year-old heading to college in about 5 years, 6 years, and it scares the ever living crap out of me.
I could only imagine.
It really, really does.
Dude, I have two little sisters. I'm happy. I'm so happy. God blessed me with two great little sisters, man. They're 22 and 20 years old. They're in long-term relationships. They're not 304s. They're not all over the gram. If you girls ever watch this show, thank you for being you.
Justin having a sentimental family moment.
No,
yeah, Jay Blaze
man.
says don't have her go. I have been telling her and I haven't started on the whole cultural side yet, but I have been telling her, if you're not going to college for a hard science or something that you absolutely have to go to college for, say accounting or law or medicine or engineering, don't go to freaking college.
I agree.
Don't go to college to get a political science degree, which is what I did, which was utterly useless. I had an 8-year career in the political field. My political science degree just set me back. I didn't have to go to college and get a political science degree. You don't have to go to college and get a women's studies degree. You don't have to get a Russian literature degree. If you're going to go to college and get a degree, make sure it's worth your investment on the back end. Okay? If you want to pursue your dreams, that's fine. Just make sure your college degree is your backup. As a way of saying it.
Seriously.
You know? And I think the best college degree anybody can get, young men, if you're listening, the best thing you can study, finance, economics, accounting, things around money. Because if you want to make money, what better thing to study than money? Okay? That's when you'll get to sit at your computer all day, do a few stock and whatever transactions and get rich. Okay? That's what you go study. Finance, economics, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, let's move off this for a second. We got 10 minutes left. You are watching the J&J Dating Dynamics podcast. I'm number 1J. This guy over here is number 2J. And this is Steven Crowder's favorite new podcast. You heard his wife is leaving him? Poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yo, let's get into this little. Actually, I just sent you 2 videos.
Oh, you did?
I posted these last week to my story.
Okay.
I don't know. Is there any way that you can play that?
There is, if you give me 1 minute.
Okay.
So give us kind of an intro of what did you send me here?
So I just sent you 2 videos. I follow this girl. What's her name? I'm going to have to find her account. I'm not sure what her name is. I definitely would have liked to give her props. But I found this girl, and she's very traditional, and she has a whole YouTube channel just full of shorts. And the shorts, oh, I found her.
What's up, Mike?
Her name is Billy Ray Brandt.
Oh, I've heard of this girl.
BILLIERAEBRANDT. That's her her YouTube channel. And she's pro men.
Okay.
And I posted 2 videos the other day.
I got it. I got it up. I got it.
You got them up? All right, let's check them out.
Yeah, let me bring it up here. Can you see her right now?
It's loading.
Yeah, you can see her. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, hang on. Let me start it over.
Good over there? I can't hear any audio.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No, there's no audio.
Let me see if I can bring it.
Anyway, you know what? Let me play it, and we can hear the audio right off my phone.
Okay, go ahead.
Because really,
it's more what she says, right? Not how she says it.
It's more what she says.
All right, let's listen.
All right. So check this out.
This guy, and role models for men. Can you tell me who the good ones are? Why is it that every time someone tries to step up to the plate to lead men, they're immediately labeled misogynists?
So she was talking. She pictured in the beginning. I'll play it quick for a second.
And this guy, and this guy are all bad role models.
It was Joe Rogan. It was Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, and Jesus Christ. So that's what I posted. And I also posted this one. Check this one out.
Yeah, that's the one we were watching, by the way.
Hold on. Check this out.
Feminism and femininity cannot coexist because they represent 2 complete opposites. Feminism is competitive, ruthless, anti-family, and anti-men. Femininity is supportive, warm, pro-family, and pro-man. So what's it going to be, ladies? Because you can't have your cake and eat it too.
So
yeah, women do tend to think that they can't have their cake and eat it too. But
so I posted that video, those 2 videos the other day.
Right.
And we know we did an episode in the past where I had my female friends on the show.
Yes.
You know, I have a couple female friends. So I posted that and received backlash from both of my friends that were on the show with us. Not Jasmine, but Penny and Nikki.
Okay.
And I'm going to have a conversation with them because they honestly are not understanding where I'm coming from. And it's bothering me and it's hurting me because they talk shit about men all the time. Not Penny so much, but Nikki is very active.
You need to make them see we have feelings too, Justin.
But Nikki's very active in shitting on men and the bad men in the world. And I don't disagree. There's plenty of bad men out there. And I am not against her in that way at all. But there's something going on with feminists and the radical feminists.
Sure.
They completely what's the word? What's the opposite of misogynist? Misandry. They're pretty much misandrists. They hate men.
Yeah, and I think that's the way a lot of young women, and those friends that were on the show tend to be a little younger. I think they're in their mid-20s. I think that tends to be the feminist default, being men. I don't know, dude, that's ridiculous. Let's see. Jay Blaze says here, I think Crowder held to her standards, which she didn't want to be held, so she divorced him. Yeah. Yeah, and she's gonna go, do her thing. But.
Did you find anything wrong with what I was saying? With what she said? I'm sorry, not with what I was saying. With what she said.
Not at all. No, she's absolutely right. She's absolutely right. Feminism and femininity are diametrically opposed, and we've known this. It's especially modern feminism. Actually, no.
But I just want to separate. And I was thinking about us doing an episode because, you know, this dating dynamics, we do cover a lot of stuff where we highlight things that's going on with women.
Yes.
I want to point out that me and Joel are not misandrist. We don't hate women. We're pro. I don't know about you, Joel, but I'm pro women.
Sorry.
And I want.
You mean we're not misogynists?
We're not misogynists.
No, we're not.
Like, we want men and women to come together. We want those family units, and that's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely.
Well,
Men
I'm
and women
totally
work
for
better together.
all the rights that women have fought for, as far as voting, as far as anything to do with, I'm not even going to cover the topic right now, but anything important, truly important to women, I am totally for. But the things that's currently going on out there, that you cannot say those are important things that are going on. There's radical feminism has taken over, and they're literally teaching other women to hate men.
Yeah, no, that's been going on for the better part of 20 years. Jay Blaze has I'm pro-woman by being anti-feminism. I couldn't have said that better myself.
I wouldn't say no. Jay Blaze, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you mean anti-feminist? Because I'm pro-feminism. I am anti-feminist. Because feminists have become radical feminists. I am pro-feminism.
I'm pro-femininity.
Yes, that's the same thing.
No, we just said it. Feminism and femininity are diametrically opposed.
No.
Yes, Justin. What does feminism teach women? To be combative, to hate men, etc., etc.
I'm not. Yes, not feminists. I'm thinking of the term just feminists. I'm locking that in with radical feminism.
Right. Okay, I got you.
But for a woman to be feminine and in her feminine, I am pro, like all day.
100%. Absolutely.
But I just find it really insane, and you know, I'm talking about it here, but it's definitely a conversation that I'm gonna have to have with my female friends, because it was insane, because they know me and they're treating me like I'm a stranger, and it's like how am I gonna be friends with you and be a misogynist?
I don't know.
Like, I literally did a whole episode battling you, Joel.
Yeah.
Like, for their sake, like, well,
yeah,
for our
you
sake,
did.
like,
you did.
It's
crazy. I would love to have them back, by the way. If you talk to them again, you can tell them. I am all for them coming on here and us having a civil discussion about all this. I am all.
They both say that they're
I'm sure they think I'm the devil. I'm sure.
They were appalled. I don't think we'll be having them back on.
Well, you know, if they're not willing to have an argument, then we're never going to move the conversation forward, or they're never going to move their point forward. So I'm sitting here. I'm trying to do my best along with you to move our points forward. So, you know.
All right, and that's the problem.
Go ahead.
Men should be allowed to have an opinion, and it's like these days they don't want men to be allowed to have an opinion.
No. They absolutely they don't want that at all. Because men's opinions historically are misogynist or whatever they want to call it. You know, I'm beyond caring at some point about some things at this point.
You're going MGTOW?
No, I'm not going MGTOW, but you know, I'm saying the opinions of feminists and you know, they don't matter to me. Some, I mean, you know, I'll sit here and I'll have the conversation all day, but for me to actually give a damn when I turn these cameras off, you know, whatever. I'm done with that.
That's another thing I have to state, is because, like, just because we're speaking up on these topics and issues, like, I've spoke about this in a couple episodes ago. I had to, like, throw it out there. Like, this has nothing to do directly with me and Joel. We have some experience out there, and we saw what's out there, which is why we're able to talk on the topic. And me and Joel are lucky enough to have game and be fit and have our shit together So we're not so much of what we're talking about in the average man's life. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of dudes out there that need help. There's a lot of dudes, and it's not just
speaking to
dudes.
that,
There's a lot of young women that need
Yes.
direction.
absolutely, 100%, Justin. But speaking of dudes that need a little bit of help in the dating market, I want to bring up some screenshots of some horrible online dating profiles and messages that a user was kind enough to send us. So let me share that
Sure.
real quick here. I'm going to share the entire screen. All right, let me know when you can see this.
It's loading.
All right. So these pictures that are going to come up hopefully here in a second are from Match.com. And, you know, this is a dude, whatever. I'm not going to comment on his looks. He looks like he's a little overweight, but whatever. 37, from Miami, blah, 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 blah. Gentlemen, when you're doing online dating, especially online dating, you need to keep an air of a mystery to you. You need to say as little as possible, and you need to make yourself look as attractive as possible. I want to show you this guy's profile, first off, okay? So here he says a little, I've blacked out his name, by the way, obviously. He says a little something, blah, blah, blah. Then he says all this nonsense.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Dude, I don't even know what it says. I don't think I've read all of it. Way too much information, but that's not
Yeah.
Because he keeps going.
A girl might see that and just skip right
Swipe
past it.
left. Yep. She is not gonna read this. She is not gonna pay you
That-
she's gonna
that
look at this
in
and think this guy's
combination-
desperate.
That
that
in
in combination.
combination with that horrible profile picture.
Yeah. No,
Dude,
look at the last sentence. Worst case, we both make a new friend, and the best case, maybe it's more. Dude,
Oh, my
are
Lord.
you kidding me? Dude, I'm not gonna
So-
put your name out there, but dude, come on, man. What are we doing? What
Dude,
are
either
we
you
doing?
put in the work and it's mutual or it's not. Like, you trying to make friends or you trying to date?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And it keeps going. Look, this is still the same profile. It's still going. No, that's not the same profile. That's it. Look at this.
I think we should do. I think next week's episode,
Yeah.
I want to compile a list of things where we get in on men. And you know
Okay.
what's great is Kevin Samuels he's got a
Oh, yeah.
lot of content ripping on men, and it's actually hilarious because he
May
goes
he
even
rest in
harder than
peace.
he does.
Yeah.
Yes. He goes harder than he does on women. It's great.
Yeah. Now, guys, let's say your profile is good enough, is attractive enough to you get a like. Okay? You get a swipe right. You don't need to send all this stuff. Okay? These are first messages. Okay?
Whoa.
How can read this? How can I explain how your pictures then reading your profile make me feel? My heart aches for a sweet, beautiful woman who looks like you. Could we have a conversation sometime? Dude, what are we doing? I'm sorry, I'm banging on the desk. What the hell are we doing?
Wait, he got no answer.
No, of course
and
he got
wrote
no
answer.
answer. He wrote,
Months
he wrote
later.
again. Months later. And I don't, oh wait, no, I did. I think it comes up after this one. But then this other guy
Yeah.
says, you're absolutely breathtaking, the most amazing stuff.
Oh,
Dude,
Lord.
you say something funny, something about their profile, you ask an open-ended question, and how are you doing is not doesn't count as an open-ended question. Okay? This is the other guy. The guy that we saw first, that's this guy. The second message,
Oh, my Lord.
this was all of it. Then this guy super likes her. And then he says, all it takes is a hello to start a conversation. Maybe I'm wrong, but you should be the one for me. What the hell are we doing, guys? Come on, man. This hurts me. Then
Bro,
you have this guy.
You know why it's hilarious? Because men fail to realize that there are bots inserted within these dating apps
Yes.
to keep you attracted and feel like you're
Yes.
getting some interaction. If you're getting no action, there's a reason for that. You're
Yes.
probably not worthy, dude. I'm sorry. Go back to the gym.
I
Go
agree
get
1000%.
hire a photographer, get some professional pictures, hire somebody to write your bio because you're terrible at it.
I'll do it. Hire me. I'll give me $50. I'll write your bio.
Honestly, we should start a service.
We could. We could. You know, MLD used to do that stuff. We need to have him on the show, actually. Modern Life Dating, to talk about all this stuff. But look, to the point Justin was just making, and this will be my final thought, then Justin, I'll get yours. On these dating apps, if you go through Instagram, you're going to get advertised dating apps all day long, new ones. And one sticks out in my mind because I used it once, called YouDate. Okay? And I still see ads for it. You can look it up on Google. You can find it.
Okay.
These apps, like if you're gonna use dating apps, stick to the reputable ones. Okay, stick to Bumble, Match, Tinder, eHarmony, even Hinge. I would say that's probably about it. Anything else? There's these apps out there like YouDate, paying women, because the way they charge you is not for a membership or for an upgraded profile. They charge you by the message that you send. But they're actually paying women to message you, to keep you talking.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Yeah. I've seen that.
It's predatory as all hell. And you don't even know if they're women. They're just
I know.
They're bots. Nowadays, it might be an AI just talking to you, and they just have it cycling there, collecting money. It's absolutely insane.
I saw something new come across my Facebook just recently.
What's
They're
that?
trying to create some new type of social experiment where they're giving people a green silicone ring to put on their ring finger. Okay. It's like a light green ring. And by wearing this ring, it signifies that you're single. I that just came across my social feed the other day, and I was like, that's kind of interesting.
If you see this again, send it to me, please.
I absolutely will. But it's very interesting because if you see that green ring, you know that person is open to be approached and they're open to dating. That's kind of a way to balance the new dating.
It's kind of like wearing an I'm single sign on around your neck. Jay Blaze says, men are romantics pretending to be realists. Women are realists pretending to be romantics. 1000%. Men are the true romantics. I've said that a bunch of times before. That is 100% true. Now, I will say romance is for women. That is why men are the romantics, because we're the ones that portray that romance toward women. Women do like getting that romance, but there's a fine line, not even a fine line, there's a huge line where you can't open up with things like that, like you're so beautiful, like, oh my God.
Bro, they get that from everybody.
Yeah, Jay Blaze is right here. You see it in the old school movies and stuff. Women used to drop a handkerchief. They saw a guy they like, they drop a handkerchief. I remember. I've seen that before. All right, Justin, let's. We're at an hour and 10 minutes almost. So give me your final thought for the night.
Final thoughts, bro. You go woke, you go broke. Look at Budlight. I mean, I think they're learning a huge lesson, and I'm glad that the real brawn men of this country have decided to take a stand, and we're showing companies that we're not taking this bullshit, because that's gonna destroy our country. It really is. It seems so stupid, but if things keep happening and going that way, even though it's just a beer, like, it's a very small example. You have to see past that and see the bigger picture is that we stood up.
Yeah, it's a very small example, but it's a very big example, because Budlight is...
We're playing with corporations' money.
Yeah, but Budweiser and Bud Light have been marketing juggernauts for decades. I mean, their ads are legendary, and their marketing's always been on point. And for them to do this, and the backlash that they received, I think was absolutely huge. And I hope more marketing departments of corporations across America take notice.
Bro, how great were their commercials? Do you know how they could have sold more beer?
How's that?
I'll tell you right now. All they had to do was bring back the Real Men of Genius commercials.
Yeah, bro, those were fantastic.
If they would have brought those back.
Yeah, and actually made it men, like real men.
Yeah.
That would have been a great marketing strategy. Not this inclusiveness crap. Whatever. Anyway, I'll end it there. Justin, anything else to say, buddy?
Oh man, I think we've said enough. If I say anything more, we're gonna get canceled, bro.
Well, thank you all for listening tonight to the J&J Dating Dynamics podcast, Steven Crowder's favorite new podcast, giving you your weekly dose of the things your father should have taught you. I'm number 1J. That's number 2J. This is J&J Dating Dynamics. See you all next week.
I'm